Yeah, I'll wrap up. I'll just tell you it's one of the things which really makes me really upset. Lucia cannot explain her presence at all those deaths. The statistician had said, of course, a correlation is not a causality. It could be caused because Lucia is just a bad nurse. Or it could be caused because Lucia just happened to get more difficult shifts than her colleagues. Clever judges asked Lucia, were you a bad nurse? No, Your Honor. My colleagues and superiors thought I was a good nurse. I don't suppose she knew why she was being asked this question. In this case, her answer was thought to be that she was telling the truth because they used it against her. She could not explain why she was there at those deaths, so this was part of the argument. Right, wrap up. There's some more things. Okay, lots of interesting things I could tell you about statistics, but I'm not going to do that. This is from I'm falling in for Peter Grunwald, and this is another talk, this bit. Don't want to talk about this. Oops. Oh, no. Oops. Yeah, I'm nearly at the end, really. Okay. I have a couple of final slides here. Basically, this is a case where somebody sees something unusual, but nobody has studied what is usual. Nobody knows what is usual in hospitals. Nobody has researched clusters of events in hospitals in a normal way of things. It turned out that there were 9 deaths in Lucia in the last year, then there had been none, and then the year before there had been a whole lot, but Lucia wasn't there. The ward technically had a different name then, so the hospital director could say that it had never ever been that there were so many deaths in this ward. There were, if you took account of the fact that it had a different name before. After 2001, there were 2 quiet years, and then there was another burst of deaths, but I didn't hear of any murder investigations. So there appears to be a phenomenon of clustering of events, and as a statistician, I have got plenty of hypotheses why that should be, normal explanations, and nobody has studied these. You cannot do any statistics in this case, in a special case, if you don't understand the usual situation. We just don't know if this was unusual or not. Okay, I said this. Okay, I don't want to say that. Yes, I think this is the end, so I will stop there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there people with questions? I'm quite sure we would have liked to see a bit more of the statistics, but...
Yeah. Well, they're on, the slides are on my homepage.
Okay, good, yeah.
You can just email me and I'll answer any questions.
Do we have a question? Yes, there.
Have you looked into any other cases that look like this? I know there was one in the UK about 10 years ago that had to do with a mother that was convicted for the murder of her 2 young children, and it turned out they were both SIDS. Right.
Yes, it's very similar in the respect that in the Sally Clark case, there was a coincidence of a number of her babies having died and not being clear why, and a pillar of the medical establishment quoted some statistics incorrectly with the wrong argument, and the judges thought it was all very clear, and the statisticians said, please may we present the counter-arguments to the jury, which is important in prison, and the judge said, no, this is not rocket science, you don't need to come here. And so Sally Clark went to jail and died after she came out, a broken woman, and the medical guy was scratched off the list, but later put back again because, of course, his stupidity in this case didn't mean that he was bad for his patients. So Sir So-and-so is still making lots of money doing his work.
We have one more question. Yeah.
Yes, there was a small part in the story I didn't fully understand. You said that Lucia was not able to explain her presence.
No.
If I go to work and crimes are committed at my work, I think it's quite easy to explain my presence. I work there.
Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, don't blame me. Yes, the point is that becomes, yeah, well, maybe I can explain the point a bit more. The judge does not use a probability calculation, a statistical probability calculation anymore. But he does listen to medical people who say, it's so unusual there being so many deaths in a short time. And anybody can see that it's so unusual that they all occur in Lucia's shifts. You don't even have to have a statistician compute a probability to see that. Actually, one of the reasons the coincidence is so striking is because events have been moved from the shift before or the shift after. Some have been forgotten, so on and so on. But anyway, the judges have taken the verbal statistical argument of the statistician and they reproduce it, as kind of illustrates, because the statistician has said correlation is not causality. We must rule out alternative causes. He gave a list of 4 by way of example. Nobody else had done that, so the judges only had to tick off those 4. And they did it by asking Lucia, were you a bad nurse? Did you have more difficult shifts? Something else, something else. No, Your Honour, no, Your Honour. And so she hung herself, you could say, on the statistician's argument, which had become a common sense and medical argument. And yeah, so statisticians were out of the game because they were troublesome. I mean, people did, yeah.
Do give us the URL to your slides.
Sorry?
Do give us the URL to your slides.
Do I what?
Your slides.
Yes.
Presentation. Where can we find them?
Where can I find them? Yes, you can find them on my home page. And you can find them on my home page if you can find my home page, which I just... there. So I think if you do ~Gill / Lucia with a capital L .pdf, you will get a PDF of these slides. But if you can find that page, sorry, you will... well, you can just do Richard Gill, Google Richard Gill.
Okay.
You will find
Thank you very much. You should have had more time. Yeah. Very interesting.
Thank you very much. Okay.